I'm Faith. I'm obviously from America for my accent, and I'm part of the GBS staff. It's the graduate volunteer program that we do at Youthscape. So I was asked just to speak a little bit on shame and like the practical side of what it's meant in my life, which is really cool because God's been breaking off a lot of shame in the last few years. After I graduated university, it was really like the time that I dealt with my shame. And I think for me, it started at a young age when I first felt what shame was, but there was no like vocabulary to shame. It was really something that was guilt that turned into shame. It was I did something bad and it turned into I am bad. And I don't think as a young youth or even more in the primary school age, it was more like guilt. I did something bad, but became I am bad. And I didn't notice that transition, that it started to become an identity of a problem that happened. You know, became this is who I am. I'm bad. So it came to a point to where, with shame kind of overtook, and really with mental health, like it came to a mental health, like anxiety, depression, all these things stemmed from the shame that I felt in my life. And I don't think that youth leaders really understood how to give me the vocabulary to know, like, oh, you're feeling shameful about something that had happened to you. That wasn't your fault. And the real breaking point for me was in university. I went through a course where I just like grieved things that had happened in my past and really came to terms with that. No, not that I was guilty of doing something, but I felt shame, and it was something that stayed for long term, not a short term thing, like an action that could have been changed in my life. It was really an identity piece. So with that, like God was just breaking apart the identity piece that I found wrong inside of me. And what I really learned was in Luke 7, Jesus talks to a woman who felt a lot of shame. But when he's talking to Peter, he really shows her that because she was forgiven much, she can love much. And I started to take on just that identity that because I have been forgiven much for the things that I felt shameful about, that's actually a positive thing that I can use to encourage others, like to use my story to not be ashamed of it. And I think for practical youth work, for you guys, it's really telling them and looking at the identity, how they see themselves. If they are shameful of their past or things that have happened to them, it's really coming to terms with, no, like, come out of hiding. Like, you don't have to be hiding these things because that's where shame grows. Let it be out in the open and to be talked about. So really talking about it, talking about things that maybe have made them feel guilty, made them feel shameful of themselves and who they are, and really just bringing truth and love and freedom really through talking about shame.